proudly brought to you by Hovertech. Hovertech, just a button away.
In this video tutorial, I'll be explaining how to restore NVRAM and NV data to an MTK device using SP Flash tool. Usually you have to do this when you have null IMEI and you have tried other methods like a box or MUI meta and the rest, and they just don't work. Okay, so in that kind of case you have to resort to restoring the NVRAM and NV data using SP Flash tool. Now first off, you need to have installed your VCOM drivers. We have a guide on how to do that, so check out our YouTube channel and our forum. You also need to have the scatter file for your phone model. You can get this from the firmware for your phone, and also the NV data and NVRAM files which you backed up from a working phone of the same model. It's very important is you get them from a working phone of the same model, because if you flash another model's NVRAM, you might corrupt your NVRAM partition. So just to be on the safe side, get from a working phone of the same model. Now once you have all these in place, the next thing you want to do is to modify your scatter file. Now I also should mention that you should have installed Notepad++. I have that installed on my PC. So you open the scatter file using Notepad++, because that gives a better view of the content of the scatter file, so you don't mix things up. Now you can see the layout is very okay visually. Now what you want to do at this point in Notepad++ is to search for the NVRAM. So I'm going to type Ctrl F and NVRAM, and then you tap enter. So that takes me to the NVRAM section of the scatter file. I think I can close this. Now you're going to change two values. You have is download set to false. You change that to true. This is so that SP Flash Tool can detect the NVRAM file when you load the scatter file in SP Flash Tool. Okay, because if you just load scatter file without changing these values, you find that the lists will not contain NVRAM and NV data. Okay, that's why we are going through this step. Now the next thing you want to do is still under NVRAM. You want to change the file name from none to nvram.bin. This is the file name here. So nvram.bin. Okay, I'm done with NVRAM. So over to NV data. So you tap Ctrl F again and NV data this time around and enter. Alright, great. Now here you change its download from false to true, and then under file name we have that in place, so we don't have to make any edits there. So what you want to do is just tap Ctrl S, which is to save the scatter file. You can close scatter file. Now back to SP Flash Tool. So what we want to do now is to launch SP Flash Tool. I recommend using a lower version, because I tried using the latest version and that wouldn't even let me flash NVRAM at all, so I just had to go with this particular version. Alright, great. So in SP Flash Tool, what you want to do is to click on scatter loading and navigate to the location where the scatter file is. You highlight the scatter file and then you click on open, and that is going to load the files. So you can see NVRAM is ticked here and NV data is also ticked. Alright, so if I hadn't made those edits, you notice that once I load scatter file, these will not be on this list. Okay, so that's why we have to do the edits earlier on. So I'm ready to flash. So what you want to do at this point is to click on download. Alright, great. So you power off the device which is having null IMEI issue. You make sure the battery is inserted, don't hold any button, then you connect it to the PC via a USB cord and wait for detection and flashing. So let's flash it, flashing, and yeah, that's done. So you have the download OK green, then you can close SP Flash to disconnect and power the device. And once you boot up, you should dial *#06# to check IMEI. You should see that it is restored to your device. So that's basically how to restore NVRAM and NV data to fix null IMEI on an MTK device using SP Flash Tool.